the right type of influencer marketing can really reach your prospective customers, alleviating any customers of barriers to purchase. And you can either entice them with an offer, or just even if it's that just social proofing element, that what you see on a website is what you actually get in real life. This is definitely part of our growth strategy over the next 12 to 24 months, just personalized and authentic influencer marketing.
It's the e-commerce master plan podcast, here to help you solve your marketing problems and grow your e-commerce business. Cutting through the hype to bring you inspiration and advice from the e-commerce sector and beyond. Here's your host, Chloe Thomas.
Hello and welcome. It's great to have you here. Thank you for hitting play and choosing to listen to one of our inspiring guests. In this episode, we continue our December-long dive into the world of home and garden products. And we are looking this time into the world of plants. Houseplants. Are they horticulture or are they interiors? We will be discussing that in this interview, but mainly I will be picking our guests' brains about their recent new product launch. At the time of recording, which is a little while before you're hearing this, they have just launched cut flowers, so bouquets, etc., on the site. And she's going to be telling us about how they've gone about pulling that project together across the whole business, because it's from customer service and ops right the way through to marketing, how they're phasing it, and she's the one who's project managed the whole thing. She'll also be giving us some awesome tips about project management. We'll also be touching on the wonderful world of customer guarantees. And as I said, is it horticulture? Is it interiors? Discuss. So all that's coming up. Make sure you listen right to the end of the episode so you don't miss out on my guest top tips, including a super hot, effective Shopify app and my own take on this episode. Want to understand what the best in the business are doing with their digital marketing? Of course you do. Well, you're in luck. The results-obsessed team at Genie Goals have pulled together a complete guide to the most innovative, market-leading and impact-driving home and garden campaigns of the last 12 months. Want a copy of their Home Goals ebook? Want a copy of the Home Goals ebook for free without even having to fill in a form? Of course you do. Head to ecmp.info/homegoals to get it right now. Genie Goals and the experts they've collaborated with to create Home Goals have decades of strategic industry insight and technical skills for e-commerce success that you really should be dipping into. Get your copy now so you can start the year strong and compete with the best in the biz. Download the Home Goals ebook today via ecmp.info/homegoals. That's ecmp.info/homegoals, all one word. Have you yet downloaded our ebook? To celebrate reaching episode 500, we've created an epic e-commerce success-focused ebook for you, packed with 500 top tips about how to make your e-commerce store more profitable, featuring the advice of many past guests alongside industry experts and many of you as well, our listeners. I've checked every single tip and organised the whole thing into sections for you, making it super easy to dip in and dip out and take inspiration as and when you need it. This ebook needs to be sat on your desktop or even printed and sat on your desk. Download your free copy right now at ecmp.info/ebook. Get 2024's most valuable e-commerce ebook now, ecmp.info/ebook. And now to introduce our special guest. Joy Young is the e-commerce and marketing manager at Beards Daisies, sellers of plants and flowers. Founded in 2015, they now sell via their B2C Shopify store, which does over 10,000 orders a month, to wholesale customers like Dunelm, and have a team dedicated to looking after business customers for everything from corporate gifting and interior design to commercial installations. Hello, Joy.
Hi, Chloe.
It's lovely to have you here. How did you yourself end up in the world of e-commerce?
Well, it's a good question. So I actually started out as a customer service representative for a French website, and it was a luxury online homeware retailer called Amara, and they did sales worldwide back in 2016. And I knew quite quickly that I wanted to be on the forefront of any customer issues to avoid them before they're on the phone to me, basically. So luckily a job came up in the e-commerce department, which opened my eyes up to a role which was a harmony of data and customer experience, all in a fast-paced environment, which I loved. And then I joined Beards Daisies back in 2022 and spearheaded the e-commerce growth from an on-site perspective, rolling out A/B tests, getting in place a system of reporting and owning the development side of the business. And I was then given the opportunity to become e-commerce and marketing manager, which is great as they really do go hand in hand. And I haven't looked back since.
Very cool. And it's quite unusual for someone from customer services to go into marketing. It should happen more often, I think. Do you think it gives you an extra edge over others?
Absolutely, because the customer is at the forefront of every decision, and it just brings that aspect into, you know, product launches or apps, like any sort of functionality on the website. You just have that customer in the back of your mind. And so, yeah, it's been really, really helpful. And I'm really glad actually that's how I got into it.
Very cool. I can imagine it would, you know, we talk a lot about you must listen to the customer, jump on a call, listen to a call, answer some emails, all that kind of stuff. But actually having done it as a job full time, hugely brilliant foundation, I can believe. So tell us, I gave a very short intro about Beards and Daisies. So tell us a bit more about the business. Let's start off with where in the world are you and where you sell to?
So we have a nursery based in Essex, and we currently sell all across the UK.
And do you grow everything you sell yourselves, or do you buy some of the stuff in?
No, we do buy some of the stuff in. Growing conditions, these are tropical plants, and unfortunately in the UK we don't quite have the tropical weather we need.
Yeah, I think, you know, managing stock is tough, but if you're managing livestock, living stock, whole other issue. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Let's talk a bit about what the stock is. So I said you're selling plants and flowers. That kind of is a very pathetic explanation of what you guys are selling. So tell us a bit about the product range, please.
Yes, so we currently have one of the largest indoor plant ranges in the UK, from unkillable plants to pet-friendly plants, along with perfectly fitting pots, a large range of realistic artificial plants, which, like you mentioned in the intro, our corporate clients absolutely love. And then the perfect plant accessories to go with also. And then just this week, actually, we launched flowers. So cut flowers in the form of hand-tied bouquets. And then hopefully we'll be launching letterbox very soon. So watch this space.
Wow. And I get that they're both alive, flowers and plants, but the market for flowers, I would assume or cut flowers, let's be clear, is very different from the market for plants. So it seems, on one hand, it seems like an obvious strategic move. On the other hand, it seems like a massive strategic move. So tell us a bit about why, I suppose, you've decided to make that expansion.
Yes, like you say, it just goes hand in hand. And we've just wanted to tap into a different customer base because, like you say, plants, it's a purchase that is thought about and it's quite considered, and also it's not as, you don't buy plants as often as you buy flowers, because obviously flowers, they only have a shelf life of around 7 to 10 days. And so we knew that, you know, with that plant customer, there is a finite amount of orders that they make within a year. And so we wanted to tap into another product category that would enable us to get that repeat purchase a little bit more often, and then just grow different customer bases to further enhance our business model.
When you put it that way, it makes so much sense. It's like there is only, I mean, I'm not great at houseplants. I'm not a big lover of houseplants, but I am literally running out of space to put more houseplants in the house. Hopefully they won't die. They're being looked after by me, so anything could happen. But there is like that finite piece, and people who are good at houseplants, they're then doing cuttings and all the rest of it. So the more they have, the less they need services like you guys. So I guess it makes total sense to be trying to, I guess, a relevant audience, similar audience, but probably with not that much overlap, but with the opportunity to cross-sell.
Yes, absolutely. And we knew as well the opportunity for gifting is huge, because actually, surprisingly, 40% of our plant business is gifting. You know, Christmas, Mother's Day is absolutely huge for us as well, because it's a lovely Mother's Day purchase of plants. But as well, we know that there was a little bit of a gap where flowers could fill. So hence the decision.
Yes, but if you've got a lot of gift purchasers, then, and that Mother's Day stat is like all initially, what, really? People are sending whole plants for Mother's Day, not just chocolates and flowers? But then you go, oh, actually, hold on a minute, that does make a lot of sense. So you've got a lot of people on the database who are coming to you for that type of gift. So it makes an awful lot of sense that it could go across. So how have you gone about setting yourself up for success in still a perishable market, but a very much more perishable market with a lot of different operational activity, I suppose, compared to physical plants?
It's a great question. So we currently have a team of around 45 people. So that's across fulfillment, buying and merchandising, e-commerce and marketing, customer service, and then we've got a business development, which is our corporate team. And so it's been about 3 months in the making from start to finish, and it's just making sure that all of the departments are aligned, the fulfillment teams are confident in kind of preparing the flower orders. We've got an in-house kind of florists as well, so they're the real experts. And then the buying and merchandising team obviously prepare the products and make sure that the stem varieties are hitting the market. And then our e-com job is to make sure that the launch is seamless and people can purchase them on the website. So it was, we actually launched yesterday. So it's very fresh in the mind. And obviously there's lots of teething problems usually with launches, no doubt. We outsource our development, but everything else is pretty much in-house, which is so great. So we can ensure we remain really close to our brand. We got there, and yeah, we're really proud of it.
Awesome. Just for anyone who's going, what? They launched that in December? We recorded this in August because none of you guys like recording with me in November and December. So by the time you're listening to this, you should be able to go and see on the website the fully bedded in flowers product. So Joy, the part about, I think it's so interesting, you talk about how the team have come together in that 3 month of planning to make sure it's all there, ready to go. When you've got that launch day with so many parts of the business involved, it's not like, right the way from ops and everything the whole way through. Did you literally set the day based on who wasn't on holiday and make sure everyone was like ready to drop everything and fix something?
Yes, basically. We made sure our developer was on hand, available. But yeah, we had the launch date. We set the launch date about a month ago, and it was actually really great to set a date because that way, there were non-negotiable tasks that needed to be completed, and it really helped us manage just project manage really from that perspective. So yeah, I think I would definitely recommend doing that.
And how soft a launch have you done? Is it like day one, email the whole database on the homepage, change all the ads, or are you just going, it's up. If someone happens to find it, it's okay. Where between those two extremities have you gone?
It's a soft launch. It's not even on the navigation yet. So yeah, we just wanted to make sure that, it was successful from a fulfillment standpoint, from an order standpoint. So yeah, very kind of foolproof. Very
cool. And when, assuming the next few days go just as well as you're hoping, and there aren't too many wrinkles to iron out, what point are you going to start really pushing that launch? And is it going to be like, we've gone live, we've done the mini launch, in 10 days time we go big with everything, or is it a gradual increase as we go over the next couple of months?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we're thinking of doing a gradual increase because we wanted to soft launch and ensure that it was actually profitable and working first before we went full hog into branded packaging, that whole branded experience, the unboxing experience. We would love to market ourselves as like luxury in the cut flowers space. And so yes, we wanted to just make sure that it's profitable, it's working for us, and then gradually increase orders and increase kind of branded collateral.
Got you. So you've for this launch isn't just everything's in place, we're just not marketing it heavily. It's we've got operational activity like the branded packaging, like things that we will take it up to once we know everything's stacking up.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Do you anticipate that happening in 2024, or is it a question? Yeah.
Yes.
So the buttons are ready to be pushed.
Yes, 100%. We're working towards it. So that it's been so for soft launch, there's been things going on in the background for hard launch, so that we are in the position to be able to, pull those levers when we need to.
I always think any launch shouldn't really ever be everything on day one, because then you're missing an opportunity promotionally. Like you get to talk about new boxes, simple as that. You miss an opportunity that way, but you're also making it unnecessarily hard on yourselves. And then there's always, nothing's ever finished either. Do you know what I mean? It's like day one, it's not going to be day one and then just ignore it for 12 months. There's going to be things you're going to want to change. So psychologically, you don't really want to think of it as that big launch. What do you think has been the biggest benefit of taking, I know we're kind of on day 2 as we're talking, but what's been the biggest benefit maybe in the lead up stage of taking that more phased, I suppose, approach to the launch?
It's been really beneficial in the sense that we've been able to hit the launch day, because I think sometimes you get very wrapped up into making things perfect that you just spend too much time on it, and then you miss your window, or people get too invested and there's too many opinions in the room and X, Y, and Z. But by getting something like 80% there, that gives you, the 20% to make it as best as you can be. But also, we're very much a business who like to fail fast. And so, everyone has a voice around the table. No idea is a silly idea. And we go with it, we test it. And then if it doesn't work, we try something else. So that's definitely our motto. And that's really came through with this as well.
You mentioned about everyone sitting around the table. Let's talk about kind of the logistics of the launch. Was it a daily meeting of key people, a daily meeting of everyone, a weekly meeting? Were you doing all this via an Asana or a Monday or something? What were the nuts and bolts of making the launch happen?
Yes, so we use monday.com religiously, I'd say, and Slack channels left, right and centre. But yeah, it was a weekly meeting. I project managed from all departments, and it was, that's how it went. But it was such a team effort. So great. I can't be more proud of us.
And it's often the case in an e-commerce business that you fall into having to project manage something huge without any, in another industry. My husband just started a job not long ago, and they sent him on a print training course. And he's not doing anything more complicated than a new website build, but immediately in the engineering world, it was you have to go on the course and get the qualification. I'm assuming you didn't go on the course and didn't get the qualification. So what would your tips be for someone who's suddenly discovered they're doing a big project like this? How did you stay sane and in control enough throughout?
It's such a great question. I'd say, if you have a tool such as monday.com, you need to use it to your advantage. You need to ensure, every department knows where the project is at, and deliverables, make them super, super clear, put timelines against it. We used a Gantt chart, which was really, really beneficial. So that's for people who don't know what a Gantt chart is. I don't know if they do, but it kind of puts all your action points, and you set a timeline against it, and it automatically, if you need to move a deliverable, it shifts the whole process. It shifts the other action points so that you're able to hit your launch day or deadline. And so that was super, super key for us. So yeah, those weekly meetings, it was just department updates of where we were at, what we needed to complete. And yeah, it's just communication at the end of the day, isn't it? So yeah.
It is. And I think you just did an impressively good explanation of a Gantt chart for an audio system. Google it, everyone, and you will immediately understand what Joy's talking about, because it's almost impossible to explain one without the visuals, but you did a very good job of it. So thank you for that. So I find sometimes when people are trying to project manage stuff, they only half use a tool, or they allow some of it to end up on a different tool. And that can be key part of the project manager's job, is actually keeping everyone on the right tool, not sneaky little email chats going on somewhere else. Or, I could have mentioned it via the tool, but I thought I'd wait till the meeting to drop this bombshell.
Yes.
Did you find you had to do a lot of that? Is that something you kept an eye on?
I kept an eye on it, made sure that every department knew exactly what was going on, and also just making sure everyone was aware, because I think sometimes other conversations happen and then people aren't kept in the loop, and sometimes, then that becomes a miscommunication and something gets dropped and missed. And so it's just making sure that there's that constant feedback loop. That's something as well which we really try to champion in the business, is a customer service feedback loop, because they're the ones who have to deal with the customer issues straight up. And so their feedback is so important to us. And then that probably ties in with my customer service background as well. So that feedback loop is just so important.
Any other piece of advice for someone who's going to be managing a big project in 2025?
Ooh, great shout. Try not to stress. If you're organised, it will happen. And just communication is key. I mean, I feel like they're not breakthrough kind of recommendations, but...
No, I think they are, though, because sometimes you can just find yourself getting more and more and more stressed about something, and it's you that's creating the stress. No one else is stressed, but you, for some reason, are stressed. Your boss might not even be stressed about it, but you're the one who's stressed. So I think that, and keeping the communication open, is two essential pieces of advice. Right, Joy, I'm going to do a massive switch of topic now, because there was something I spotted on your website, which, as someone who is very good at killing plants, by accident, I should say, not intentionally, you've got a 12-month plant guarantee. I mean, how? What? Why? Surely this would make you broke if you're selling to people like me. What's the reasoning behind that one?
Yeah, so we just wanted to know or give the option to our customers that should the worst happen, because, we can't all be plant experts, that there was an option to repurchase the same plant but for 50% less, and give them the option, because we like to... We've got you covered, basically. We've got our customers covered. Should the worst happen, we just gave them that option. And that is free for all customers. So all customers who buy a plant, they have 12-month plant guarantee, whereby should the worst happen within that time, then they can claim on that and get their plant for 50% cheaper.
Very cool. I love that guarantee, Joy. And I can only think it's going to work super well, especially getting those kind of newbies to the houseplant world buying. So, I know that plants are part of the home and garden sector, right? We got the big bulb sellers and the nurseries and the kind of the traditional ones, the Thompson and Morgans, etc. of this world, the Sutton Seeds, who very much are within the home and garden section, but within quite a horticultural space, I suppose. I wouldn't describe Beards and Daisies as being in the horticulture space. I'd put you kind of on the home interiors space, I think. And I think that's a really interesting evolution in the last few years in the industry, where we're seeing houseplants as interiors objects rather than horticultural objects. Is that something you see in the space? Is that something you think is brilliant in the space, especially as you've come from a traditional homewares, if we can call it that, background?
Yes, absolutely. More and more we're seeing houseplants as that interior decor purchase. And, during COVID, houseplants absolutely boomed because everyone was spending more time at home. They wanted the greenery in their space just to enlighten, their decor. And it's actually quite funny because we did a customer survey, and one of the questions was, why do you buy plants? There was for air purifying purposes. There was for, because I like how they look in my home. And then that was the most popular choice, which was, I like how they look in my home.
E-commerce Master Plan is supported by some of the greatest companies in the e-commerce sector. Here's a reminder of who they are.
Want to understand what the best in the business are doing with their digital marketing? Of course you do. Well, you're in luck. The results-obsessed team at Genie Goals have pulled together a complete guide to the most innovative, market-leading and impact-driving home and garden campaigns of the last 12 months. Want a copy of their Home Goals ebook? Want a copy of the Home Goals ebook for free without even having to fill in a form? Of course you do. Head to ecmp.info/homegoals to get it right now. Genie Goals and the experts they've collaborated with to create Home Goals have decades of strategic industry insight and technical skills for e-commerce success that you really should be dipping into. Get your copy now so you can start the year strong and compete with the best in the biz. Download the Home Goals ebook today via ecmp.info/homegoals. That's ecmp.info/homegoals, all one word. Have you yet downloaded our ebook? To celebrate reaching episode 500, we've created an epic e-commerce success-focused ebook for you, packed with 500 top tips about how to make your e-commerce store more profitable, featuring the advice of many past guests alongside industry experts and many of you as well, our listeners. I've checked every single tip and organised the whole thing into sections for you, making it super easy to dip in and dip out and take inspiration as and when you need it. This ebook needs to be sat on your desktop or even printed and sat on your desk. Download your free copy right now at ecmp.info/ebook. Get 2024's most valuable e-commerce ebook now, ecmp.info/ebook.
It's time for the top tips round.
I love this section because it gives me and our listeners some really quick ideas for taking our businesses to the next level. Joy, are you ready for the top tips?
I am.
Marvellous. The book top tip. If everyone listening to this podcast agreed to take Friday off and read a book to make their business better, which book would you recommend?
So this was a great question. This book was actually given to me by a previous line manager, and it's called Hacking Growth: How Today's Fastest Growing Companies Drive Breakout Success by Sean Ellis. So it talks through how a company, whether it's startup or an established company, can increase their customer base and market share. And it walks through the process of creating and executing your own growth hacking strategy. I like how they look in my home. And then that was the most popular choice, which was I like how they look in my home. That book really did change my life, and it was really the key to establishing key processes in even my previous business and this business to ensure seamless product launches, campaign launches, and all the rest of it. So yeah, really great book.
Nice recommendation. Okay, the traffic top tip. Which marketing method do you either prize above all others or think doesn't get the press it deserves?
So I think this really depends on your target audience. However, for us, I think that the right type of influencer marketing can really reach your prospective customers, alleviating any customers of barriers to purchase. And you can either entice them with an offer, or just even if it's that just social proofing element that what you see on a website is what you actually get in real life. And that this is definitely part of our growth strategy over the next 12 to 24 months, just personalized and authentic influencer marketing.
Yeah, there's so many different influencer strategies, but when you find the ones that work for you, it can be hugely powerful. Tool top tip, maybe a collaboration tool, a social media plugin, a phone app, or just a way of working. Is there a cool little tool you use that makes you and your team more efficient from day to day?
So a game changer for us has been the Shopify app IntelliGems, which not only enables us to A/B test methodically across the entirety of the site, whether it's delivery pricing, product pricing, or content changes, but we can also set up discount campaigns for different target audiences. And this app has been key to not only testing and proving business hypotheses, but also for business growth. And so, yeah, that's a really great recommendation, I'd say.
I would agree. Carbon top tip. What's your favourite way to reduce the carbon footprint of an e-commerce store?
This is really important for us as our packaging is 100% sustainable. So we've been through many stages to get to where we are, and there really is an art to sending plants, but I'd say like we've perfected it through constant in-house testing and the development of our packaging. But we ensure that everything is made from either recycled paper, or we even had a plastic lid on a cane that helped keep the plant upright, and we removed it just to ensure that we were 100% sustainable. And whilst it costs us a little bit more, we sleep better at night.
I say this many times when people mention packaging at this point in the episodes, but I think packaging is a brilliant place to start, because generally we'll do something to improve the delivery of your product. People tend to tackle that at the same time. And then it's the most visible thing to the consumer. And it's the thing consumers complain about the most is non-recyclable packaging, non-eco packaging. So such an important bit to get right. So thanks for going into so much detail on that, Joy. Really appreciate it. Now, before we say goodbye, could you please let the listeners where they can find you and your business on the web and social media, please?
Absolutely. So the website is beardsanddaisies.co.uk. We're on Instagram as Beards and Daisies, on TikTok and Facebook as well under that name. And then if you need any plant care at all after purchasing from us, our plant care experts in our customer care team are always available to help. And you can even message us on WhatsApp now.
Very cool. And I believe you've got a special discount for any of our audience who want to come and grab one of your houseplants.
Absolutely. So we're offering you lucky listeners 20% off, and that's just with the discount code MASTERPLAN.
There you go, everyone. Head to the website, use the code MASTERPLAN and get 20% off your order. Joy, thank you so much for coming on the show and being so honest and open about your major project. I wish you and the team all the success with it as we go into Q4. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been great.
What a fascinating dive into a brand new launch of, yes, just another product range, but a much more complicated, different product range to the one they're already doing. Loads of great tips in there about how they were putting it all together and how they were phasing it and the focuses at different points. And then some great insight from Joy on how she brought the whole project together. And those project management tips are awesome, especially for an episode going out right now, because I know a lot of you, once you get through the January sales, will be hitting some kind of massive project for 2025. You can get your hands on our notes from this episode, including those top tips and links to the things we mentioned, by heading over to ecommercemasterplan.com. You can also use our direct episode short links. Just put ecmp.info/ the number of this episode into the URL bar and you'll be redirected straight to the right episode page. When you get to the website, don't forget to add yourself to our email list, because I wouldn't want you to miss out on any of the other things I share to help you improve your business. And if you liked this episode, then make sure you check out all our homewares, home and garden episodes that you will find on the website via ecmp.info/home. Thank you for tuning into this and every episode that you do of the e-commerce master plan podcast. I bring you a new interview every week because I want to inspire and help e-commerce business owners just like you to succeed and thrive with your businesses, including progressing along the path to sustainability. So if you know someone this show can help, please tell them to listen to the e-commerce master plan podcast. I hope you have a great week, and don't forget to keep optimizing.
Thank you for listening to the e-commerce master plan podcast. Find out more at ecommercemasterplan.com/podcast.
It's time to download our 500 top tips to make your e-commerce business more profitable ebook. Go to ecmp.info/ebook now.